on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When trouble surrounds us and evil comes, the body grows weak, the spirit grows numb. When these things beset us, He doesn't forget us. He sends down His love, sends down His love on the wings of a dove, wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends His pure, sweet love, and sign from above, sign from above, on the wings of a dove.
Welcome. It is my pleasure and my honor to welcome you to the 23rd Annual VON Memorial Garden Service. I am Joanne McCodrum, a member of the VON Foundation Board, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies for this event. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which the memorial stands is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabeg people, specifically the Aamjiwnaam First Nation. We give thanks to this day for this opportunity to come together in celebration. I would like to stress that this memorial garden is a place of welcome for all who wish to gather in peace and love, from the first people of this country to the most recent immigrants to our nation. These last 2 years have been difficult, especially for people experiencing the loss of a loved one. It makes our mourning so much more difficult when we cannot be surrounded by friends and family members, when we cannot gather to celebrate and remember our loved ones. It is our hope and our prayer that this video offering will honor all of those people whose names have been added to the memorial and bring comfort to those of us who are left. Author Justin Cronin wrote, "As long as we remember a person, they are not really gone. Their thoughts, their feelings, their memories, they become a part of us." The Memorial Garden exists so that people we love and name there will stay with us. The Memorial Garden exists because the Huzefka family wanted to find something beautiful after suffering a terrible tragedy in their family. The Huzefkas lost their son and brother, Marshall, to a motorcycle accident. By honoring him in this way, they have kept a part of Marshall alive. The Huzefkas partnered with the VON to create a place in our community where all people can gather to celebrate the life of a loved one and to mark their loss. This beautiful spot has become a place of comfort to many. This place is especially important to me because both my husband and my father are named on the memorial wall. My visits to this spot have become particularly meaningful to me in these last 2 years, when I have not been able to spend as much time as I would have wished with other people. I invite you now to enjoy some warm wishes from VON Canada and the United Way.
Hello everyone, I'm Joanne Poirier, the President and CEO of VON Canada, and I do bring greetings from our Board of Directors and the entire team at VON. This year, 27 names have been added to the VON Memorial Garden, and I want to offer my condolences for the 27 families that have been impacted by the loss of a loved one. I want to offer our best wishes for the volunteers and partners who've made this garden possible, and also the City of Sarnia for keeping it the space in the Centennial Park clean and inviting for us to use. I do want to make sure I mention that the space would not be possible without the generous work of the Huzevka family, who launched this 24 years ago in 1998 in honor of their son Marshall, who was killed in a motorcycle accident on his birthday, September 20th. So I do want to mention that this is important work. It is really important for people to be able to grieve their loved ones, and there's no question that the contributions that the families and volunteers provide to this memorial wall go to support a lot of our programs and services, and have been doing so for so many years in that community. So the VON Sarnia-Lambton provides important support to those programs and services, and I want to honor them as well. So I hope that you have a wonderful event, and again, our condolences for those losses, but just know that it makes a difference every day in our communities. So thank you and have a wonderful event.
My name is Dave Brown, and I'm with the United Way of Sarnia-Lambton. It is a pleasure and an honor for me to bring greetings today to the VON on behalf of the United Way, our volunteers, including our board of directors, and of course staff. The United Way of Sarnia-Lambton has funded the VON in this community for over 35 years. Specifically, we fund the foot care clinic, the friendly visiting program, and we assist in the subsidized nursing program. We're very proud of our long-term relationship with the VON, and we know firsthand how excellent their services are in this community and their long-term outcomes and impacts. Over the years, I've come to meet a number of VON personnel, be it staff, volunteers, board members, and even clients. And every time I hear their wonderful stories, I'm reminded about how important the VON and the VON services are in Sarnia-Lambton. I'd like to congratulate the VON on their memorial garden and wish the VON staff and volunteers all the best going forward. Thank you.
Reverend Roger Ellis was the minister at Redeemer Lutheran Church here in Sarnia for many years. I invite you to listen to his message.
We want to welcome everyone who's watching today to the 23rd annual memorial service at the Garden. It is a joy and a privilege to be here with you today as we take time to remember loved ones and to celebrate the work of the VON in Sarnia-Lambton to help us through different stages of life with both young and old. Time is something that we've all been aware of during this pandemic, and the lack of time to see loved ones, too much time to hang around and not have a change of scenery. But as things have been opening up, we remember that those words of scripture that say there's a time for everything, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to get up and celebrate. And on this day, this 23rd anniversary of the Memorial Garden Memorial Service, we want to say it's time for you and for me to take advantage of this garden to remember loved ones who have lived and died and give thanks for their part that they played in our lives and in the lives of our greater community. I'm so thankful and feel the privilege to be with you and celebrate the gifts that are not only in your life but also in mine as we've been family and been community together here in Sarnia-Lambton. This is a great place to come and remember. That was the whole purpose behind building this memorial site, that we could sit down by a water fountain, sit down on comfortable benches, look at the nameplates where loved ones are recorded for all posterity, and to just take time looking out over this beautiful bay here in Sarnia and be thankful for all that we enjoy together. God has given us time to live, to die, to celebrate, to remember. And on this day, as we are experiencing the freedoms that are now coming as we've had the pandemic, vaccines come into our communities, and as we've been doing all the things the government has been asking us to do, we are set free in a greater way to be able to do those things right here in the garden that's right behind me. As people walk by and have a chance to maybe even interact with us, to say, I'm here because I have a loved one that I'm remembering. Thanks for asking. God bless us, and God bless the VON as they continue to help us to live, to die, to go through different stages of life, and above all, as we come to this event, to remember loved ones with thanksgiving to God. God bless you all.
Today it is our honor to have the Huzefka family lighting a memorial candle and reading the names that are being added to the memorial wall.
William Bill Havers, Howard Howie Havers, Travis Havers, Kenneth Haynes, or Ken, Sybil C. Moore, Diane Irene Hassan, Joseph Joe Savoy, Hazel McDonald, Lloyd McCormick, Brian F. Hill, James Clark, George J. McMahon, Devon Elizabeth Benoit, Catherine M. Bendis,
and continuing, Fred Heinen and David Paul Glenn and Giselle Bracewell and Anthony Tony Williamson and Harold Vinton Clark and John Jack Rawlings and Patricia Pat Rawlings and James Michael Santoro and Claudette Deshays and Jerry Soule and Fred Benetow and C.W. Phil B. Hobbins. Thank you for your service. And Angelo Trigatti.
I would like to invite Mr. Cameron McCormick to share with us.
What a caterpillar perceives as the end, to a butterfly, it is just the beginning. I'd like to tell you a story about a place, a green meadow filled with milkweed and flowers, where lived a colony of caterpillars. They were a happy colony, living a quiet life in the cool shade. For many months they were busy, scurrying around and munching on the soft milkweed leaves. They did notice every once in a while one of the colony seemed to lose interest in crawling around with its friends. It would go off alone and crawl up high into the trees. It gradually moved out of sight and was seen no more. "Look," said one of the caterpillars to another, "one of our colony is climbing up to the tops of the trees. Where do you think they're going?" Up, up, and up it slowly went. Even as they watched, the caterpillar disappeared from sight. Its friends waited and waited, but it didn't return. "That's funny," said one caterpillar to another. "Weren't they happy here?" Another asked, "Where do you suppose they go?" Wondered a third. No one had an answer. They were greatly puzzled. Finally, one of the caterpillars gathered its friends together. "I have an idea. The next one of us who climbs to the top of the trees must promise to come back and tell us where they went and why." "We promise," they all said solemnly. One spring day, not long after, the caterpillar who had suggested the plan found himself climbing up high into the trees. Up, and up he went, higher and higher into the tree. Before he knew what was happening, he had broken through the canopy of leaves into the warm sunlight and fell into a deep sleep. When he awoke, he looked about in surprise. He couldn't believe what he saw. A startling change had come over his old body. He now had beautiful wings. Even as he struggled, he felt an impulse to move his wings. The warmth of the sun soon dried the moisture from his new body. He moved his wings again and suddenly found himself flying into the blue sky. He had become a butterfly. Swooping and dipping in great curves, he flew through the air. He felt exhilarated in his new atmosphere. By and by, the new butterfly landed on a leaf to rest. It was then that he looked down into the meadow and realized he was right above his old friends, the caterpillars. There they were, crawling around and munching on milkweed, just as he had been doing before. The butterfly remembered his promise. Without thinking, the butterfly darted down. He landed on a flower and looked into the grass. Now that he was a butterfly, he could no longer go back. "I can't return," he said in dismay. "At least I tried, but I can't keep my promise. Even if I could go back, not one of the caterpillars would know me in my new body. I guess I'll just have to wait until they become butterflies too. Then they'll understand what happened to me and where I went." And the butterfly winged off happily into the new world of sun and air. In honor of the Memorial Garden, and in the memory of those we have lost and attend for today, I release these butterflies as symbols of your love for those who no longer live in the meadows we live in.
I would like to call on Sarnia-Lambton VON Foundation Board co-chairs Eileen Kaur and Vicki Emery for a few words.
On behalf of the Sarnia-Lambton VON Foundation Board, we would like to thank all the families we are memorializing today. Again this year, we have to do things differently and hope that you will find comfort in this presentation. Each year it takes many people to make this event special. This year we would like to thank Joan Spalding and Doug Springstead, Reverend Roger Ellis, Cameron McCormick, and the Huzefka family for their participation in this video. The board would like to thank everyone who went above the call of duty to make this event special, despite COVID-19 restrictions. I would like to invite everyone who is watching to visit Centennial Park and spend some time here to remember and to celebrate. This place is here to welcome everyone and hopefully to give all people a sense of peace.
I have participated in most of the Memorial Garden services since they began 23 years ago. When this site was vandalized a few years back, it quickly became obvious how significant the role of the Memorial Garden was in this community. So many people told us how much it means to have such a beautiful, peaceful setting in which to spend time with loved ones and to sit and reflect on the memories of those who are no longer able to be here with us. As Joanne said, you are not truly gone until you are no longer remembered. I have found that there are many things that can bring me comfort. Music, family, nature, and friends. My daughter died last summer. We have a cabin in the north, and last summer, for the first time ever, we had an influx of butterflies, thousands of butterflies. They would settle on the front porch, and every time you opened the cabin door, a cloud of butterflies would take flight. It was incredibly beautiful, but more than that, they became a symbol to me of my daughter, and it brought me comfort and strength. The Memorial Garden Committee would like to emphasize that this memorial is for everyone, regardless of race, color, creed, or any other differences. Its sole purpose is to give all of us an opportunity to remember and to celebrate the impact of those who have played such an important role in our lives. It is our hope that in this place you might find a source of strength, comfort, and peace. With COVID, this has been a difficult year for all of us, but especially for those experiencing the death of a loved one. On behalf of the BON and the Huzefka family, please be gentle with yourself, more understanding and compassionate of others, and stay safe.
Grief is the deepest emotion that I have ever experienced. A combination of devastation, despair, and powerlessness. And thanks to many, including the VON and the Huzefka family, in the darkest moments I found light, the beautiful memories that remained. And I wanted to hold on to those memories. I wanted to touch them. I wanted them to materialize. I desperately needed to keep those memories alive because memories are all that I have left. I hope that those people that we are honoring today are dancing in the sky. I hope they are singing in angel choirs. I hope the angels know just what they have. We pray that this video event has been a positive experience on your grief journey. On behalf of the VON Memorial Garden Committee, I thank you for sharing your time with us.
Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. Share all my dreams with me. I need to do so. In life we've searched, and some of us find. I've looked for you.